If am I alright here? Yeah. I'll do Steve first. Then I'll
Do you want to sit here?
No,
you can do if you want. You can do if you
Go
want.
on, that's it there, yeah.
I can't believe that.
Don't go anywhere.
That's not.
Yeah.
It's recovery, that is. This is different, Steely.
Well, Steve, we'll have to stop meeting like this yet again. Just about the perfect performance.
Yeah, I think it was pleasing, obviously, to get the bonus point win again at home. I thought, in fairness, Lyon, first half, made it really difficult for us in around the tackle contest. They lived on the edge, slowed the game down when they could, but I thought the boys were calmer half time, and then first 10 minutes of the second half took the game away from them.
What was so pleasing about the second half from a rugby spectator's point of view was the fact that every man in the Ospreys team was eager to get involved with the handling and once again showing that the skills that you've worked on.
Yeah, something. I think the boys were confident. There was some the intent to play of kickoffs as well was pleasing. And I think the energy the group was showing when the boys are coming off the bench, they're trying to keep that tempo in the game. And like you say, it is pleasing. And to get another bonus point win at home, and like you say, everyone's touching the ball, everyone's playing around with it. So yeah, it's pleasing.
What do you do next week now with Newcastle? Do you put a few boys in cotton wool because you've secured the seeding as well now?
Yeah, I don't think it's about putting boys in cotton wool. I think it's about what the squad have been doing. Out in Lyon, we took a really young team, changed things around, so it isn't just about the job is done, because it ain't. It's something that we are going to pay Newcastle huge respect, and ultimately we want to produce an Osprey performance, and then hopefully the result will look after itself. But the boys that will come in next week, they'll be chomping at the bit, and they know there's a job of work to be done up in Newcastle, and then that will hopefully lead us into the Six Nations and Anglo-Welsh period.
The only downside was the two injuries, Mafufia and Keelan Giles. Were they serious?
Yeah, well, look, it's too early to tell. They'll get scanned over now, and we'll see how they pull up after the first 24 hours. There's no point speculating now. It's something that we'll just review over the next 24 to 48 hour period.
And finally, where does this competition, of which you are probably one of the favourites now, where does this competition stand in your priorities compared to the Pro 12?
Every game's a priority. I think it'll be when we turn to we got Newcastle, then we turn to Anglo-Welsh. That'll be having the same focus as the Challenge Cup, as the Guinness Pro 12. So there'll be no different preparation. There'll be no different mindset around it. It's representing Osprey shirt, which we want to do properly every time we go into something, and we want to win games. But the only way you win games is by performing.
Thanks very much, Steve.
Thanks, mate.
Turn to you, Alun Wyn. How did you enjoy that? Because you were.
Can I go now? Huh? Sorry.
Turn to you, Alun Wyn. How did you enjoy it? Because you were popping up in the centre, on the wing, everywhere.
Yeah, I probably wasn't working hard enough, to be honest with you. But no, I think we were probably frustrated from a well-drilled, keen Lyon team that started. I think, look at the pressure they put over the ball, and then marry that with a bit of line speed. And we probably tried to play a little too much early on. We had probably a stage where we were in the ascendancy going into the half, which we needed. And then the first 15, we capitalised on a bit of possession. And from a playing point of view, towards the end of that, we probably got a little bit loose again, playing a bit too much. But like Steve said, the guys that came on pushed the scoreline further on, excuse me, and then defended the line in the same breath. So it's pleasing from that point of view, but there's always tweaks to work on. Probably disappointed with the way that first scrum went, but they had a pretty intelligent scrum to take the angles there on that first one. But pleased with the majority.
The thing that comes out on the sideline watching is everybody seems to be enjoying their rugby at the moment. How enjoyable is it to play in that side at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's a perspective of where we are. I think it's really easy to enjoy it when things are going well, and they are fortunately in two competitions. But we're also, I alluded to that first half, and particularly the first half of that first half, that we were under pressure, and we know we're going to come up with teams that are going to do that for a full 80 minutes. So we keep that under the hat and be aware that pressure is going to come. Yes, we'll enjoy the way we're trying to play at the minute, but also we need to enjoy when teams are going to try and stop us doing that.
And what about playing with some of those young players, Adam Beard and so on, the youngsters, Keelan Giles? Does that give you, as one of the most experienced players in the squad, does that give you an extra spring in your step?
Yeah, I think so. I think people go on about what young players can learn from older players, but hopefully these guys got things that I can take from them, and that's the way it should be. I think people talk about strength and depth. We probably haven't had that. We've got it now. Without putting pressure on the squad. And people are comfortable with ball in hand, like you said earlier. Hopefully we've got the ability to express ourselves. It's just when and how we do it, and hopefully we don't play or put ourselves into too much pressure when we do it.
And where would this competition stand in your area of priorities this season?
I think we've been very clear as a squad about it, that we're two separate entities. I think whatever we do in the Pro 12 is completely different to what we do in this competition, for obvious reasons. We're in a good place now, and people, you said, talk us up and say what we're going to do, but once we're into knockout rugby, it's a completely different phase.
Is that it for you now until the Six Nations? Are you going to Cottonville, or would you look to play against Newcastle next week, knowing you?
No, I'm hopefully available for selection. Steve hasn't said otherwise. Unfortunately, I only had 50 today, but you will see how it goes.
Just two more as well. The Welsh squad is announced on Tuesday. Obviously, a lot of speculation about you being skipper or that. Have you got a thought on that? Knowing you're probably just hoping to be selected, are you?
Available for selection with the Ospreys squad and the Welsh squad. I've got to play to put myself in contention. I've done that today. Like any other player, we'll see what happens.
Finally, it brought a smile to Richie Rees and I on commentary. There was one occasion in the second half where you caught a ball from the line out one-handed, set up the maul, and engaged in a simultaneous conversation with the assistant referee. I don't know if you remember it. Can I ask you what you were saying to him there?
No, you just try to assist the assistant referees at times, don't you? I think it was just a lift of the leg at a maul or something. So, sometimes they can't see those things, so you just try to help where you can.
We protected the ball well enough as well.
Well, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Thank you, Adam. Well done.
Steve, what did you say to the side at half time?
Not a lot, really. I think it's just staying to the focus of what we wanted to do in the game. I thought some of the line speed that Lyon bring in and the intensity they brought the breakdown was fair play to them. I thought they really went at it, but it was just keeping it. I thought we really wanted a high ball in play time, and it was something you could see from the stand they were starting to blow. And it's just something more of the same. Obviously, we'd like to execute one or two things a little bit differently, but it was no panicking around it. It was just making sure we're going to keep to the plan and keep working Lyon, and our rewards will come. And in fairness, they did in the first sort of 10 minutes of the second half.
With this side, how much growth have you got left in it?
Yeah, I think there's loads of growth, and I think that's the exciting thing. And it's how we do that and maintain it. And I think it's easy to get carried away with a little bit of momentum, but it's making sure these young guys keep working the training field, how make sure about recovery. I know it's on boring when I say it. Nutritionally, it's not going, like, these things don't happen by chance, and to be consistent in performance, like I say, that can't be sporadic. And how you recover, how you do your detail, how you do your homework, it can't be. This is why sort of Alun Wyn gets to the point where he skippers British Lions, he's in around over 100 caps of Wales, is because there's consistency around him. When you've got leaders like that, you've got Justin Tipuric, you've got Biggs driving standards, these young players are held to account as well. But ultimately it's just making sure there's competition for places and making sure they represent that jersey properly.
How do you feel Alun played?
I took him off at the 50s and I saw maybe a little bit indifferent. No, look, I think his energy is phenomenal. The working week, I think the way he's driving the group and in different ways, I think is definitely a father figure around the group and around how he keeps these guys solid. There's no up and down emotions. It's quite clear around the working week. I think he's outstanding, and I think at the end of the day he's had it for years and around his ball skills and how he's comfortable on the ball, and he's enjoying that, and his work rate is for everyone to see.
You must be pleased as well with a couple of unsung guys like Arnold, Dan Evans. They're both really good.
Yeah, they're not unsung in our environment. I think everyone's plays their part in our team, and it's something like what I did love is the fact the game is dead at 47-7, but then there's two sort of line breaks or from turnovers. Lyon get close to the line, the action, the desperation to get back to protect the line in the back end of the game. That's just as pleasing as scoring sort of the try bonus point. Those are the type of things that we've got to keep driving, and every moment counts when you're representing the Ospreys, and making sure you got that energy levels. It'd been easy to get to that game to go end up 47-21 or something, but I thought that the bench and the guys that were already on there, a la Hano, Dan Evans, they keep working and making sure that every moment counts.
How does this side compare to some Osprey sides from years gone by?
I think it's different. I think we've probably come from a different place. Later on in the life of the Ospreys, I suppose. I think I say about the 18 months where we lost a lot of players that have been here for a long time. I think we've been fortunate. The academy system seems to have worked at the minute. You marry that up with a coaching setup who know what they are and what they want to do and what they want to get from us. And we're not playing anything we haven't tried to play before, probably with any team that we've had. We've just putting it out there. I think again, going back to the coaching staff, we instill confidence to be able to play what we see and use the skills that we're actually working on is one of the biggest things, because we spend a lot of time training in the week. Steve talks about the performance and how we get there. I think, well, actually we do 4 days training before that just for the 80 minutes, so it's not all about the 80 minutes, but how we get to that point. So with regards to where this team ranks, we haven't got a trophy yet, so I can't really answer that one.
And what about your own form, heading into the Six Nations? How pleased are you?
I think my form is in line with the teams. I think we've all got bits to work on, myself included. We were stifled coming around the corner, carrying at times today because of the line speed, so there's bits to work on for myself like that. There'll always be bits to work on.
Rhys Webb, Steve, what sort of stage is he at?
He's in pretty good nick. He's chomping a bit, and he should probably be available for the weekend.
That'll be a boost for the Ospreys, and I guess for Wales as well.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a boost for us. Getting Webby just in and around the training environment is always great, and I think it's a good compliment. I think Arbers has worked really hard over the Christmas period, as has Brendan, and I think Arbers has got through a high workload, but it's always good to get a player of the calibre of Webby back, but also his energy and his confidence in around the group. But I thought since Webby's been away, I thought the two boys have been outstanding. But like I said, it's always great to have him back for us, and then I'm sure Wales will take him pretty quickly.